Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the CranKy Ducklings review, where we review Star Wars: The Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 4. I'm, of course, your VIP with him, joined by the one, the only, the 16th Swanseki, Kuro. Kuro. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. Ah.
Yes, but we just watched episode number 4 from season 2.
Mm-hmm.
We have not talked about it yet at all.
No, we have not.
So yeah, we're keeping all the reactions here, and I will say we talked about it last episode, but like it's very different from previous episode because previous episode was different than anything.
So I kind of mentioned it during the previous review here, and I mentioned it leading into this as well, that I'm afraid that Bad Batch Season 2 peaked too early here, because Episode 3 by far was amazing, and it's all downhill from here. It's all I
wouldn't be this pessimistic.
No, obviously not. But
it's
yeah,
more like we're back to regular programming.
Yeah. We got to wind it down after Episode 3, which was amazing. Now getting into Episode 4, as you mentioned, kind of back to something a little bit more lighthearted, I should say, with the Bad Batch. And yeah, it was an episode centered on some different characters. Before I get ahead of myself, this was episode 4, called Faster. This was directed by this was directed by Stuart Lee and written by Matt Michnovetz. Beautiful. So here we go. So we have our writer, we have our director.
Wait, how do you spell that name?
Michnovetz. There you go.
Could you copy paste it?
Okay. There you go.
I have to know.
It's his last name. Estemat.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Because when you said it sounded kind of like some Slavic name that was like translated a few times.
Yeah. Does
but the spelling makes no sense.
Does have that kind of vibe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Does have that vibe. But yeah, he mainly works in Star Wars related content, of course. Star Wars Mole, Tales of the Underworld, Tales of the Empire, Bad Batch, Jedi Survivor, Clone Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, Rebels as well. So it's a lot of Star Wars under his belt. Okay. But yeah, so we get into episode 4. Episode 4 is a little more centered around 3 of our main cast, around Omega, Tech, and Wrecker. Those are kind of the 3. There was kind of like a passaway line where Hunter and Echo were kind of sent off on a different mission, so this does focus on 3 different characters instead. And as you mentioned, it's a little more lighthearted, and it is a not pod racing episode, is what this is.
A legally distinct pod racing. Huh?
Yes, not pod racing.
No, see, the thing is, like, because you showed me the D&D that Jesse did back in the day, I was thinking of that race.
I was
because of the way like it was portrayed of like being this like hardcore racing with like weapons and stuff. At the same time, though, there were a lot of droids in this race, like just in general, because they were like emphasizing like that, like she has a droid, but like most of the races seemed to be droids, which was kind of weird.
That was a little bit weird. I do you know what? I was thinking the exact same thing. So what Kuro is referring to, Jesse Cox, he was a part of a D&D group. He GM'd Echoes of Eternity is what it was called. Star Wars Echoes of Eternity. It's on YouTube. Highly recommend it. I don't think Kuro's actually finished it, by the way.
I think I watched everything but the finale.
God damn it. It's honestly really good. It's really good. And I was also thinking of the same not pod racing scene there. It was like a death race sort of thing as well, where we also had like alleviated restrictions. And I'll be honest, I like that a lot more than this. we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I think the biggest issue that I had with this episode was something that we mentioned about the previous episodes, the first 2, the first 3. Is that often every character has their own moments and have something to do, and that is not the case here. Wrecker did nothing the entire episode.
True, Wrecker did nothing.
That's what I mean. Like you're specifically isolating 3 characters, so use them. but they could have had just Wrecker leave
Wrecker
and go
was
with Hunter.
emotional support, okay.
Yeah, not even. He was the non-motional support. He was very unsupportive the entire time.
Sure, sure.
So it was I would say a waste of the character. And what I mean when I say that I liked the Echoes of Eternity version better, because one, to me it made a little bit more sense, but also like it gave the opportunity for a bruiser or someone who's a little bit more comment oriented like Wrecker to do something.
Yeah,
Specifically, uh
for those who did not watch that show, the way that race worked, which by the way, I don't know if they made for the sake of the roleplay, of this was like inspired from like a game or something, because they did pull a lot of this kind of stuff from
mhm.
games and stuff. Anyway, there was also this kind of race where like you had like the contestants could use weapons and
Yep.
stuff, like all of that. But also you could have people like outside of the track
Mhm.
helping them, although I think unofficially.
Yeah, and I thought that was gonna happen. By the way, like I was
Yeah,
waiting for
same,
that. I
same.
was I was expecting that. I was because otherwise, why did Sid hire Wrecker and the rest of the team? Remember,
Yeah,
she was like, "I need you guys for protection," but they didn't do anything. Like they didn't.
yeah.
So it made no sense. Like I thought there was going to be like you could do one of two things. You could do either that they intentionally go and they start interfering, which you can say is like
Mhm.
maybe morally gray. Like even if everyone else is doing it, like it might seem like a negative thing to do. Or you could do it that the opposing team, because it's standard to do so, they have a bunch of like snipers and stuff, and you have
Mhm.
Wrecker and Omega interfere with that, right? Where they
Yeah,
stop
like
them, where they stop
label
them from
that.
interfering
Yeah.
instead, and like attack them. You can do either one, right? And maybe that one is a little bit better just because like they're still seen like a quote unquote good light because they're not
Mhm.
attacking or interfering with the other contestants. Instead, they're trying to stop interference, right? Like you can have them do that instead. That's what I was expecting. And they
Yeah.
did none of that, to the point where it
Mhm.
was like, why are these characters here? Like, what's going on? Like, what was the plan? Like, it felt a little bit like we were missing like a part of what could have made this episode a little bit better, to involve the rest of the team, right? Just
Mhm.
because we've seen that done in other media, and it's like that just makes
Yeah,
sense.
they could have done that better.
Mm.
Like it didn't like necessarily bother me as I was watching, but I do agree that in previous episodes they made sure that like every
Hmm.
character had their own role. Where like here it does seem like Riker kind of just tags along, because he doesn't even work as a bodyguard,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the moment they can proceed, like he just hands her over.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing. Like it's just it's they could have done so many different things, right? They could do that, right, where they're stopping interference. They could have had instead have Wrecker, because he's like a demolitions expert. It would have been cool and would have been a throwback as well if he actually modified
Yes,
the
the
racer,
guns on
yeah,
the
yeah, with
thing.
like better weapons, with like more efficient and more
Yeah.
like destructible weapons or something like that, and more explosives. Like have him do that instead. Like whatever, just have him do something. just give him something
Mhm.
to do. He didn't do anything. He just collected body parts and handed them over to tech, and that's it. It's like
Yeah,
okay,
that was his job.
and he complained the rest of the time. It's like great.
Mhm.
God. Which is a shame, right? Like we want them to use these
Yeah.
characters in a better way, right?
'Cause he
Like
has the
it's
skills,
yeah.
like, that could be used there. They
Mm.
just kinda missed it.
Yeah, like let him be like a demolitionist, and let him like outfit the racer, or let him like protect like and use his like combat experience to like
Mhm.
stop other people from like attacking, and protect tech as he races, or what have you. Like
Mhm.
do whatever. But they did nothing, so it's like it's this is kind of weird. But yeah, so coming into the episode itself, they introduce I can't remember what it's called, but it's not they don't call it pod racing, they call it something else. um
I
uh,
don't know if they said the name of the race.
they
Maybe
did.
they did it
they
once.
they said it at the very beginning, just the one time, and I was like, okay.
Ah,
So it's
okay.
just not pod racing, where they have weapons, they can attack each other, and they can even
Mhm.
like attack like the audience, and it's fine. Which is why like it doesn't make any sense that the audience can't attack back. They probably could, and again, it'd make for a better
Mhm.
story. But for me, it all felt a little bit weird. One, as you said, it was kind of weird that there were so many droid contestants, because that kind of takes away from the skill, I think. Or like it's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird that you can
It's weird.
like
Not even the
program.
skill, but it also takes away the, like, edginess of the
Yeah,
whole thing, because,
yeah.
like, well, the droids fall apart. People just put them back together. Well,
Exactly.
they keep racing.
Yeah, yeah. As you said, it takes away some of the tension. It takes away some of the. It doesn't make it as impressive. It's less impressive if it's just robots doing it. It's like, okay, I guess. Like it's just. I mean, thankfully,
I would say
the opposing
I would say
racer is
different.
not a robot, and I guess Tech isn't a robot, and he goes into it
See,
as well. But the fact that they introduced all these other robots into it made it weird.
see, I would say differently. I would say either make it like the droids are rare, or make all of them droids.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
One or the other. But like when it's like, oh, it's like 2/3 of the contestants
Mhm.
are droids, and they're like clearly like made up droids of like protocol droids and like old
Yeah.
battle. I'm like, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
it took me out of it as well. As you said, it just makes it less impressive. It just makes it's just weird. It's a weird decision. I understand that they wanted to have some references, right? There was like
Mhm.
the protocol droid with like the battle droid head, right? That was a reference to the
Mhm.
prequels, right? Like they had just a straight up protocol droid as well. Like
The
it's just
protocol droids took me out the most because it's
yeah,
like, what are we doing here?
yeah. It's like they're not like
There's
what.
so many other droids you could have used, and you chose this one.
Yeah. It was again, it was just purely for references, and it took away from the experience, I would say. Um, but before all of that, we find out that Sid apparently has a new racer, and he's a good racer as well, apparently. Um, and so she's racing, she's betting, she's winning bets, she's earning money, of course. Then you have like her quote unquote rival or someone else like in the scene kind of like challenge her to a race, and they bet. And I think what was really weird to me was the whole concept of the episode was that he's like, hey, you want to do a standard bet? She's like, okay, let's go, which means that they do this all the time because it's like
Mhm.
doing something regular, which is
Like it
why,
didn't look too much out of ordinary.
yeah, which is why when she loses the bet and apparently she can't pay it, I'm like, what? Like it was
Why are you
like
betting then?
yeah, that exactly. I was like, well, one, I was confused of two things. Either one, she can't pay for it, and if that's true, then why did she bet to begin with? Or the other thing is, why did he immediately like try to like arrest her or like detain her? Where he's like, hey, pay up, and she's like, oh, I'm good for it. Hold on, I just let me piece together my racer because he just exploded in front of us, and he's like, nah,
Uh-huh.
take her in.
Uh-huh.
I was like, what? Like it all felt
Yeah, and nobody
weird.
protested. And nobody
Yeah,
protested. She just
yeah,
went with them.
exactly. Like
Like, okay.
it was all very weird because it was very casual before, and then here like things kind of escalate, but not really because she's also not protesting. But also she lost the bet, and because everything was above board, like it felt wrong to like challenge that as well, right? Like it was a really weird
Like that
story that
like
was
that
being
scene
told.
specifically was the weirdest, where
Yeah.
like they're like, okay, cut, time's up, pay up, and it's like, I'll pay you at some point, and they're like, well, you're going with us, and they're like, okay, she's coming with you. I'm like, what just happened?
It was just very weird. Like we needed there needs to be something different here.
Mhm.
Like the problem is that nothing went wrong in the race. So the problem from the very
Oh,
beginning is that everything that happened was legal when it comes to her losing the race. Like she
yeah.
just lost the race. And the problem is that in the race anything can happen. So it's like whatever. But
Mhm.
so what you need to have done is that if they did something like shady, if they did something shady, if they did something illegal,
Mhm.
maybe they like tampered with her race or tampered with the droid itself or something underhanded to make you be like, nah, this isn't right. Like you cheated or something. Like you
Mhm.
like this wasn't a fair bet. That's the thing. Like if it wasn't a fair bet, then we're on board with like, no, okay, like now there's like some tension, some conflict here. But because everything was above board and she just lost the bet, it felt weird to me when when Omega stepped up and she was like, no, no, we'll double or nothing sort of thing, and she tries to interfere.
Mhm.
Like I felt weird because it's like, well, they didn't do anything wrong. Like it's like it's just like I like if
Mhm.
to me it felt, the whole thing felt weird. It was weird.
It was weird. It
Yeah.
was weird. It was weird. Yeah, not
Yeah.
that scene in particular. It was
No,
weird.
it's
It
like I
was
said,
it.
well, that scene was weird, but the whole
Yeah,
that's
the concept of it. Yeah,
that's the crux of the whole entire episode. The story that's being
yeah.
told is about this bet. And again, because everything was
I would.
legal and everything was fair, quote unquote, according to the rules, she just lost.
Mhm.
So it's kind of weird for them
Yeah,
to like interfere.
the only thing that seemed fishy to me, but like they never said that that's the case.
Yeah,
So, but the only thing that seemed fishy to me was that he was working with more than one racer, but they never said that there's anything against Kyo
exactly.
doing
That's what
that.
I. Yeah,
So as
exactly.
far as we know, like
Yeah.
they just like they raced according to the rules,
hmm
which
But and
they are
that's
not.
well, that's also why the first race was weird to me because apparently Taylor is who's the name of the droid, who's apparently like the ace racer, and I say apparently he is because he won the race in the beginning. Like
Yeah,
we didn't get to see the
wonders.
whole thing, but he won the first race, and apparently he was doing well and winning well. When we saw the race that he lost initially, what was weird to me is that he wasn't doing anything, as in in a race like this where anything can happen, you would expect him to be more aggressive. As in when it comes
I
like
mean, he
killing
can,
the other
yeah.
contestants. Yeah, but he doesn't use them. That's what I
Yeah,
mean. Like,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like they emphasize it later on that they were freaking out. That you know. No, I remember like when
mhm.
Tayo was talking to Tech, and Tech is
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, you should use your shields more." It's like, "No, I need all the power in the guns." I'm like, "You haven't shot once."
that's what I mean, right? Like that's what it just felt. Everything was weird about it because he's meant to be a really good racer, and you would
Mhm.
expect a really good racer who wins all the time
Mm,
to be
mm,
to be killing people and to be shooting the other ships and all of that,
mm.
right? Especially because of his demeanor, because of his outlook and
No,
his
he's
and his ideas.
insufferable, by the way.
No, sure, but like because of what he was saying, right? As you said, like he wanted to
Mhm.
be more offensive, but we didn't see that.
But he
So then
wasn't.
it felt so then again so that loss felt weird because it felt he as a racer felt out of place because he wasn't trying to kill them like they were trying to kill him. Like, right? Like that's what kind of felt
Mm,
weird about it. Apparently, but even though he was meant to be good, but he wasn't. Like
mm,
there was a lot of like conflicting things happening here where they're telling you one thing but they're showing you something else. That's the issue here. They're telling you that everything's fair, but they're showing you that like the Omega and the others like want to contest against it, or they're telling you that Taylor's a really good racer, but they're not showing you him being a good racer either.
mhm.
Like it's just really weird. It's a I would say a poorly told story because of that. Like it was very messy. It was very messy. Um,
Mhm.
and it didn't flow too well because of that.
Yeah. What I will say though, on a positive note,
Mhm.
I am very glad that this season is giving more development to Tech
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general, because this is not the first time we spend a bit more time with him and
Mhm.
his skills, his um, not opinions necessarily, but like just him as a person. Like we learn a bit more about his personality traits because he would often come out as like kind of this like disconnected person who's just like very strict about like the knowledge, the doing this, doing that, but like very like disconnected from any sort of like emotional stuff, for example,
Mhm.
in that kind of thing. But in this season, we get a bit more of Tech and like
Yeah,
his decisions.
yeah. That's I mean, focusing the episode on tech is not a bad thing. I just think it was a
Mhm.
poor episode, unfortunately.
No,
Like,
yeah, it could have been better,
like
definitely.
yeah.
I'm just saying that I'm glad that Tech is getting the spotlight in the
Mhm.
first place because I did find it pretty fun that he got to race and like he got to show his knowledge and skills and they were like, oh, you how is he gonna race in this thing, like he's never raced in this. I'm like, isn't Tech also like the pilot of the ship? Like from
Yeah.
what I'm trying to remember, but I think every time they show them piloting, it's
Mhm.
Tech piloting their ship, and
Yeah.
they've been in some weird situations. So I think he's a pretty good pilot.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred if I think it's important that they just really mess up with the first race. I think the first race they should have emphasized Teo being more offensive,
Mhm,
and having success with that
mhm,
to hammer home the idea that this is how you should approach this race, and then
mhm,
that makes the second race look better with Tech because he completely like flips out on his head by getting rid of his weapons. Like the idea of him getting they try to put a lot of emphasis on like, oh my god, he got rid of his guns. That's crazy. But like he wasn't using them. Taya wasn't using them.
Yeah,
No one was using them. Like no one was using the guns. So it doesn't matter. Like so like if you had shown that being effective earlier and being maybe even the reason why Teo won previously, then it means more when he gets rid of them later. So like that's typically how you construct a narrative is you have one thing leading into the other, and you have like a setup and payoff to that sort of thing. With Tech's completely different approach to racing, right? But like they didn't do that, so then it meant less when it happened, and it had less meaning, less impact.
Also,
so yeah, it was,
one thing, but also one thing. Speaking of like the tech racing, one thing that I was disappointed in about that was how little faith his friends have in him.
Yeah, we spoke about it earlier, where Rocker did nothing but complain. Like he.
No, see, I am actually okay with Wrecker being worried, just because he's like very he's childish. Like I can see like Wrecker being worried, just because like he doesn't like plan ahead, so to speak. Like he would be like more like emotional. But I feel like Omega, considering that in previous episodes she was specifically shown to be like strategical, like I feel like Omega would relate to it more and actually like have more faith in Tech. But like they also had her like constantly screaming like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Yeah. It was really weird. Like I say really weird, it's just very childish writing. Like obviously the reason why they're vocalizing that is because the writer and the director, they want the viewer to think that he's doing worse than he is, so then when he wins, like it's like a bigger win, right? Like it's you bring down the character first before you lift them up, and you want them to be like doubts, so then so then they can like exceed expectations, that sort of thing. And I understand that, but as you said, like using these characters, like it would make more sense if that was done by Sid, right? Because Sid, she doesn't know, and also it's her on the line as well, so she's a little bit more like exasperated and a little bit more emotional as well. And if Sid is one saying these things, then it makes sense. It makes less sense for it to be from Omega, right? Who's being taught under Tech.
From his team in general, because like they are literally a team of special forces. Like they have some skill, and like they trust each other, they rely on each other. So you would think they would be like, they would have more faith in one of their team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like again, like that was weirdly done. I also just thought of I think when you started speaking on Wrecker, the other thing that they could have done actually with Wrecker is for me three things, right? It's either you have him attack the other racers from the audience like everyone else. You have him protect Tech by stopping the interference, or the other thing which you could do here, which I feel like is done in other media, is that he also enters the race as well with his own pod, and you have and it's like a team thing, because they already, especially because they already set up that apparently there's like 2 or 3 other guys racing that all work for the same person, and they're all working together. So it makes sense if like Wrecker also went in and also had his own his own racer to help as well. And maybe he gets disabled during the race, obviously, because Tech has to win. But like you can have him helping in that way, and you can have him have outfit and mod his own racer as well. Like there are other ways to use the character. Yeah, but like that, that's still better than what they did, is what I would say. Like it's have them do something.
Even scouting, like anything.
Yeah, or maybe there's something else going on. Like again, like if there was like some interference where they were like, I don't know, damaging or like hacking things, that like while things are going on, like he's out there like, stopping that from happening or whatever. I don't know, just something, just anything. And it's, I don't know. He could have been gone from this episode. Nothing would have changed.
I think he still like belonged in that episode, but I agree that they should have given him like an actual role and not just a background.
Yeah, that's weird. In the end, Tech, he does, we kind of gloss over it. Teo, the original racer, he gets dismantled twice, apparently. And then Tech steps in to race in his stead.
Can I just say, I understand that they had to do this so you don't feel bad when he gets demolished twice.
Mhm.
But that guy was insufferable.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
really didn't have to make it this bad.
Well, again, like I would say that you can make him this insufferable if he's good at what he does, but I don't think they did a good
Yeah.
job at showing that,
Like he
unfortunately.
just seems stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Like they needed to do a better job with the first race, with portraying Teo as a good racer. Show not tell.
Mhm.
So it's a
Right.
little bit unfortunate. Then of course the race goes off. Tech ends up winning. He outmaneuvers the other racers and has them kill each other basically.
Which was cool, I would say.
Hmm.
Tag racing was cool. I liked
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah.
I
It was
liked
good.
it that he has his own style and like his own strategy, his own plan, and like I'm really starting to like Tech more this season. And I'm glad that they're fleshing out the character more because he's not such expressionless
Mhm.
background character anymore. Like he has his own agenda.
Yeah, yeah. That was maybe the better part of the episode was specifically his race. But
Mhm.
again, there's just a lot surrounding it, and even a lot in it as well. Whereas, as I mentioned, like with Omega and Wrecker, like chastising him on comms and all this other stuff, which was a little bit weird and out of place. But he wins the race in the end. And then we have that final scene as well, where I guess it's just weird because like there's the whole tone is really weird to me because again, like the guy, I didn't even remember his name. They said his name once in the episode, but
Yeah, they said his name once, and I don't remember him
yeah, the other
really.
guy, like there's no animosity. He's like, okay, you guys won the bet, like you guys can go. But like again, like that's why it makes the previous scene weird as well, because it's like there's no real tension there. Like again, like there
Mhm.
needed to have been something there, but he's like, okay, no, yeah, you can leave, it's fine. And
Like it from what has happened, it doesn't feel like he would even hurt her in the first
yeah,
place.
exactly. Like, and he probably wasn't going to. Like, it was. That's what I mean. Like, there needed to have been something. Either was something more malicious there, or like something else going on. But that dynamic felt off. It's nice that like he's like a quote unquote honorable person, or he like respects their
Has a
loyalty.
quote.
Yeah, he respects their loyalty and makes sure that his subordinate doesn't attack them. That's nice and
Mhm.
all, and it's always good to have like a quote unquote like great character like that. But like again, like the whole setup for the story and the dynamic between him and Sid and stuff, it didn't work. It didn't fit. I think it was weird.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, like there should be something more to it.
Hmm.
Because again, like it didn't feel like she was in actual danger. Like if anything, like they seemed to be friends. Like maybe
Yeah,
like old friends, but like
like
they seem friendly.
yeah. I don't think I get to like verbalize it well before, but like I didn't get the impression that Sid couldn't pay him when she lost
Yes,
initially.
same.
Like
Like she doesn't seem poor by
yeah,
anything.
or like as in when she said like I'll pay you later, I'm good for it. Like
Mhm.
I take that I assume that meant that like when I say later I mean later today. Like
Yeah, and like it
I
was
didn't.
basically like leave me alone. Like I'll get to you eventually.
Yeah,
Okay, like clearly they know each other, but like
yeah,
they're like, okay, we arrest you. I'm
yeah.
like,
Which is why
okay.
when he wants to like detain her, that was weird. It was weird because it didn't feel like
Like
she wasn't
she
going to pay
doesn't have the
him.
money,
Yeah,
but does it mean she doesn't have the money? Like she keeps making business. Apparently, he's very profitable, and then she's
yeah,
like, oh, like this racer, he's gonna make me a lot of money,
yeah.
and like so she doesn't have the money.
But she should because he's been racing for a while. Otherwise, she wouldn't know that he was, a good racer. And he won a race
I mean,
apparently, like off screen just before as well, which means he should have won money from that as well. Like it's just,
I mean, that she should have thought about, but also, isn't the whole point of Bad Batch working for her is that they're making her money?
yeah,
She literally said that they cannot leave because they're making her
yeah,
money.
yeah. Like yeah. It's just a weird story that they tried to tell. It just didn't fit. Like yeah, it was just weird.
I guess they are saying that she's a gambler and she doesn't have anything because she just spent it all on this race or
I don't know
something
if they're
else.
trying to say that though. I don't think that's
That's the
the
thing.
yeah. It's just weird. Um, Again, they needed something like underhanded to have happened. They needed, as I said before, they needed something that was quote unquote unfair to occur to prompt like some kind of like
Or
conflicts between them or
or you
something.
know, or you know, if they don't want to go that route, and if they actually want to say what I think, make it that like Sid acts like, like, oh yeah, like all this money, yeah, I'm gonna bet you. And then it comes to pay, she's like, guys, I actually lied. I have no money, we are broke. And like have actually that
Mhm.
angle be where like
Yeah,
she
if
has
they,
to like tell them what the actual situation is,
mhm.
and that all this time she's been, running with what she has, but the reality is she actually is broke because
Yeah,
XYZ.
yeah, like that's another way to do it. But like they need to do something, but they didn't do any of that.
Yeah,
It's-
but that's what I mean. If they wanted to go in that direction, and that then it would also make sense where Omega would be protective of her
yeah.
because Sid kind of like took them in when they had nothing, right?
Mhm.
So it would make more sense in that, but like we got neither.
Mhm. They could have you know what you know what they could have done to help this actually is from the very beginning, all you have to do is have the setup be she mentioned something like, "Hey, I just spent all of my savings building this robot." It's like just
Sure,
that's how you
sure.
start the episode. Have her say that. Have her say like, "Hey, but it's okay. I'm gonna get all my money back." You know, like she like and
Mhm.
just make it
It's investment,
that she paid.
investment,
Yeah,
you know.
make it that she paid for the robot, and then have the robot and then have that like be the first race even as well or something,
Mhm.
and then have the robot be destroyed, and then she's all fucked. Right? And
However,
it's like like something I don't know like
however, I will
that would
say
cover it, and then you can just move on.
no, no,
Like,
no, I will say that like this, what you're saying would make her a little bit more not silly, but like more like a gambler,
mhm,
which I don't know if she is. She is to an extent, but I don't know if she's like reckless enough to actually like fully gamble everything.
mhm,
But what I was thinking more was how the guy was like they constantly have this undertone of like, oh, you don't actually know who Sid is, oh, you
mhm,
actually cannot trust her. I was thinking more in the direction that like, sure, she is earning money, but she's actually paying someone else. I was thinking more in that sense that like she actually is connected to someone else, and that's where the money is going for one reason or another.
mhm. Maybe. I mean, obviously they're gonna flesh that out at some point this season, right?
Yeah,
They're
but,
alluding
but
to
that was
something.
more what I was thinking about, like for a reason why she would not have the money.
Sure, but but she has to have not had the money, right? Like that
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
like they didn't properly convey that here, unfortunately. Um. So yeah, it was an episode. Again, there were some good aspects about the episode. Otherwise, some not so good aspects. I'd say this is probably like the weakest episode that we've
Below
experienced so far in
average.
this season. Like yeah, for sure, below average so far. Um, and it's a shame because like there's definitely more that they could have done here to have elevated
Mhm.
it. I don't necessarily think that just because it's a racing like a pod racing episode, it's a bad thing. Like they could have done more with it. Um,
Yeah.
again, I feel like Echo's attorney handled it a little bit better. Like I was it was just in
I
my
mean,
mind the entire time. And
Echoes was also pretty fun. Okay, so what happened in Echoes of Eternity, which is
Mhm,
also okay, this is kind of spoilers. If you didn't watch that show, then go watch it because it's pretty good.
mhm.
But what also threw me off because of that was because
That a droid?
I don't think yeah, I don't think other races were droids, like, at
Nope.
all, or maybe
It was
there was,
just
like,
him. Yeah,
one.
he was the only one.
Like, it was just he and they had, like, this, like, old protocol
Yep.
droid that could barely walk, and they had to, like, somehow put him on a bike.
They basically like welded him to the bike. They
Yeah, they welded him to the bike
sure.
just so he wouldn't, like, fall
Yeah,
off.
exactly. Like it was very comical, but like and again he was set up as not a good racer, but they
Yes.
make up for it because the rest of I say the rest of the team, one other member of the team, you know, helps him and helps support
Yeah.
him in another way. Um yeah. So
And
would have
that
been
was an adventure. I mean,
mhm.
look, PR3 was pretty good, okay?
It was pretty good. It's pretty good.
It was a good actually really good character.
Yeah.
Really, really fun character.
Handled him well. But we're not reviewing it because of Eternity. We're
Go watch it.
no. But otherwise, with that, that wraps up our coverage here of episode 4. Again, I would say, unfortunately, not. I would say even poorly done here. Like again, there are some good aspects, and I think you can make something of this story. But the execution
Mhm.
was really weird. It was really weird execution. It
Yeah.
was very
I will
uneven, I
again,
would say.
I will say that I did like the tech racing.
Yeah,
and like him like having a a spotlight, and actually, and you also had like this like moment of acknowledgement for Tech where like people were cheering for him and stuff, and I think that was the only time in the entire show that Tech smiled. I'm like, you know what, he deserves that every now and then.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's a bad thing that the episode was focused on Tech. I just think there are other. Unfortunately, again, I think the
It could have
story
been
being
executed
told.
better.
Yeah, like, it definitely could have been done better. So again, it also doesn't help that this is also right after episode 3. It's
yeah, like the tone shift is just massive.
Yeah, but even without the tone shift, I don't think that would have made the episode any better. But it doesn't help it for sure. It doesn't help it. And yeah, with that, that's episode 4. So we're dipping down in quality a little bit here, but we'll see how the rest of the season pans out. Up next will be episode 5. It's going to be Entombed. We'll be able to catch up next time. Otherwise,
looking forward to it.
Yeah. See you next time for episode 5.
Look at that. No, I would say, okay, before we go, I will say, look, we just watched a below average for this show, at least. Below average episode. I'm like, you know what? I'm looking forward to the next one. Let's see what they're gonna do with it.
You know what? You
understand the difference.
I thought you were gonna say, you know what? This was a below average episode. That's true. This is still better than most of Ahsoka. This is not all of it.
No, it's just straight up better.
This is still better than anything that was ever in Ahsoka.
It's not even what I mean. What I mean is that like, because this is below average, like the average is still on the level where I'm like, you know what, this was not the best episode, but I'm willing to, I think it will be better in the next one. Like I still have that hope. Where like when we were watching Ahsoka, like the hope was gone. It's just gone.
It's going real quick. It was going real quick. We realized what we were watching. No. But yes, we'll see you guys next time for episode 5. Until then, take care.
Bye.